good morning, good afternoon, and good night. I tell you what, man, it has been a very productive week. And when I say productive, I haven't done anything at all, but I've had some of the best conversations that I've had with some of my friends and family that I've had with some people in a very, very long time. So, honestly, this has been one of the most productive weeks I've had in a long time. Just talking to people about what's next. What's the next step in our lives? What's the next step to success, to true happiness, to finding peace in our lives? What is the next step? And a lot of us don't have the answer to what is the true next step because we all kind of stumbling down this path of life together. We may be on different lanes, I would say. I would call them lanes, but it's still the same path. Maybe in a different lane, but it's still the same path. And we all stumbling along this path, through trial and error, through the successes that we have, through watching the successes of others and using others' blueprints and other successes to create our own success. And there are people out here that I look up to, for inspiration. There's people that I look up to and I say, I might not idolize this person, but I would like to have the same success as this person so I can do for the people what I want to do for them and have access to the same things that these people have access to. And I know one day I'll get there. One day I'll eventually get there and I'll be able to do the things that I want to do for my community, for my family, for people all over the world. But I can't look at someone else's success and say, hey, I want to get to that point and not realize that there's going to be a lot of steps involved in order for me to get to the point that that person is at, because I don't know everything in that person's life, in that person's path that got them to the success that they have now. Now, I call these chapters. Now, somebody that I may look up to, like a Kanye West or a Barack Obama. These people are on chapter 1000 of their lives. They've overcome many challenges. They've already been successful in a lot of avenues. So me, I'm only on chapter 5 on my path to success. So I can never base my success upon someone else's who is not on the same chapter as me, or someone who's so far ahead that I'll never be able to catch up to them in their successes. I have to have my own successes to make my own chapters to get to chapter 1000. So I have some friends who see me and what I do, and I feel like I don't do anything. Like I'm just a normal person like everybody else. And they're like, hey man, I want to do what you do. And they're like, and I'm like, okay, you want to do what I do, but we got to start somewhere. We got to start somewhere, and then we got to work our way to what I'm doing. Because what I'm doing, I'm on chapter 5. You will be on chapter 1. So the successes that I have on chapter 5, you wouldn't have immediately starting out because you're going to be starting out on chapter 1. But if you keep the same mindset that, hey, okay, I'm only on chapter 1 of this whole thing and he on chapter 5. Well, he might feel like I'm on chapter 20. But I have to keep working and getting better and getting more successful and having more knowledge and gaining more information about what I want to be successful at, so I can start gaining chapters in my story or in their story in order for them to get down the path they want to get to level or chapter 1000 and be like, hey, you know, I'm here. A famous rapper from Philadelphia said this, and my friend said it to me a couple hours ago, and it's still in my mind. Is that Mill said, "It's levels to this," and I'm not on someone's level that I want to see the success because I don't have the same networks that that person has. But I'm on my way. So to my friends and to the people who see people out there, and you're like, yeah, I want to be like that. I want to have the same influence that that person has. I want to have the same house, car, whatever. Find out what chapter they're on in their life. Find out how long they've been doing what they've been doing. Find out the obstacles that they had to overcome in order to reach their own success. Learn the sacrifices that they had to make in order to become who they are today. Because some of the things that they sacrifice in order to become the person that they are may not be things that you want to sacrifice in your life to be who you want to be. So those are the things that you have to find out about the people that you see out here, and you want to be in that same category, or you want to be known with them synonymously for success or whatever. You got to figure out how they got down that path, and you got to figure out if that's going to be the same path for you. Because if you aren't willing to follow their path exactly, then you might not achieve the same success as the people that you look up to. So your success may have to come another way. It may be another path, or you might not get to chapter 1000 like the person that you look up to, or the people that inspire you. You may not get to level 1000, but it never hurts to continue to gain your own chapters. And maybe you get to chapter 300 and you say, hey, well, I won't get there, but this is a good start for another book. And you can start you a whole other book and start from scratch on something else you want to learn, something else you think you could be successful at. And now you create another income, because now you got the level 300 in this book. You know how to run that book nice and smooth. You didn't get to level 1000, you didn't master it, but you learned enough to where you can do something with it and you can be successful with it. But it just wasn't what you loved. It wasn't your passion. Like, it just wasn't. It didn't have that. It didn't give you that fervor. It didn't give you that passion to want to do it murder. But you found something else. You're like, hey, okay, this is gonna work for me. This path right here is gonna work for me. But I also still have the knowledge of the chapters that I learned before. But now, whatever I'm starting over again, I gotta remember that now I'm back at chapter 1 again. And I gotta take my time. And I gotta keep at it. And I gotta have the passion. And I gotta have peace in my life. And I gotta have happiness in my life. And I gotta have prayer in my life. Those things are gonna get me through, regardless of whether I get to chapter 1000 or I'm stuck on chapter 5. So everyone in life is at their own chapter. They're at their own chapter in life. So don't base your own success on somebody else's chapters, because you have to write your own book for your own chapters. You can only use somebody else's template to help you on the road to success, but it's only your chapters that you write that will determine the ultimate success. And I apologize because I was supposed to make this video like 2-3 days ago. So the people who are watching, I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. And I'm going to have a lot more videos coming soon. Like, this is going to become a everyday thing. I am trying my hardest to make sure that that can happen. So just bear with me. For those who are watching, welcome to the Bottom Feeders of the USA. I am your host, Modem. And remember the 3 P's. Peace, positivity, and prayer. And with those 3 things, you can find true happiness on the inside in your life. on the inside right here, and things that we think are big that are really small, we're able to understand the importance and the details and things that are problems that we shouldn't have to worry about at all, and we can just be more successful at life and get those negative thoughts out of the way and continue on our path to greatness. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.